So my name is Martin. I'm the CEO of Vet Success, and I'm fortunate enough to have my friend Michelle with me. Michelle, do you want to just introduce yourself and
Sure.
tell us who you are, where you're from?
I am Michelle Garcia-Winter from just outside Tampa, Florida, and I am a certified veterinary practice manager. My role is at Patterson Veterinary right now. I am the creator and overseer of all the Patterson Veterinary University offerings.
Wonderful, thank you. So really excited to have this conversation because you and I had a moment where we talked about we've been using ACT, average client transaction cost, as a benchmark for a really long time, and you're advocating that we be looking at a different metric. I happen to be a strong proponent of that, and so I was wondering if you could just talk a little bit about your thoughts on that.
Absolutely. My issue with the ACT is about the fact that it's not measuring what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is to get people to come to the practice as many times as possible throughout a measured period. And the ACT is measuring one visit, which in the big picture is not very relevant anymore. So in my opinion, I think it's time we find a measurement that would measure what it is that we're trying to do over a said period of time.
So I know you have one in mind.
I do.
And I'm going to get there.
Okay.
It's interesting because I often talk about, Mrs. Jones who comes in every week to buy a can of cat food to say hi to the team at the front desk.
Love Mrs. Jones.
Right? And it's like a $5.80 transaction.
Yes.
You have 4 of them. That totally brings down your average client transaction cost, right? So
that's not it. If you provide ancillary services, your average client transaction drops. If you're good about compliance and you get people back for rechecks, your average client transaction drops. Right. If you sell diets and continue to sell diets, and I think that's what we're trying to do here, the ACT drops. Prescription refills, the ACT drops. So again, that's not a measurement, that's a true success measurement of what it is that we're trying to do. We're trying to get people to continue to buy through the veterinary practice channel and stay bonded with us.
All right, so let's do it. So the alternative is?
The alternative I like to utilize is something called the average revenue per patient, and that is typically measured over a period of time. I look at it annually. And that is taking all of the transactions from a particular patient and adding them all up. So if you think about it, I don't mind if Miss Jones comes back for her $5 transaction, once every 2 weeks.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
It's plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, all through the year.
Over the course of a year.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we've been doing something slightly different. We've been looking at average revenue per unique client visit, right? So we've been looking at the client, so all of the patients for that client. Yep. But I really think that the patient view is something that we're going to start taking a look at too. I think that that's something that's super important. We've been looking at it monthly. Any thoughts about sort of monthly versus annually?
Well, I think you could do monthly. To me, you're going to have to develop a goal for the ARP, and that goal would probably be based upon at least the starting point would be a wellness package for a canine and or a feline or whatever species that you're seeing in your practice. From there, you're basically going to have to say, all right, what would that look like on a monthly basis? So it's my annual goal divided by 12, and or divided by 4 for a quarter, or divided by 2 for every 6 months. It's a building number, so it's going to trend and build. We just have to break that down.
Not surprisingly, yet again, you've got me thinking about all sorts of great stuff.
Isn't that great?
So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this continues to develop and continuing the conversation.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us today.
Thanks for having me here.
Thank you.